Hey everyone, Marathon Hurdley here, back with some more Final Fantasy. Last time we saved a princess, defeated some pirates, and then solved a puzzle. Off screen I went ahead and did all the grinding of the 15 puzzle I wanted to do. As you can see, I have well more than the items that I recommended that you have. I'm not actually going to use most of these items, but it's nice to have in case we run into an emergency. I would have liked to have gained another emergency exit, but I kind of screwed up and played the 15 puzzle a little bit fast one time without realizing it, and then it was hard to beat that second place time moving forward, but that's okay. I also got some elixirs and ethers. The Hermes shoes aren't necessary, but they will help give us some offensive versatility later in the game, so if you could pick those up, that's good. If you want to, you could sell off most of these curtain items and the vampire fangs and things like that. We won't really be using all of these, and that's a quick way to get some money. You could also continue to play the 15 puzzle, and I might do that at some point. As you can see, I did earn a little bit of extra money doing that, but I don't know how much I actually plan to play that on my own. So with all that said, let's go ahead and continue with the adventure. Now, as I mentioned before, today is a day when I'm going to try to avoid showing off random battles and me saving the game on screen. If for some reason I make a really good run and I want to save my game to make sure I don't lose the progress I made, I might show that on screen, but for the most part that shouldn't be necessary. Now let's see, I want to make sure I'm going to the right place here. I think what I want to go is south. Okay, I'm back. Now I don't think we can actually access the world map using the when we're in the ship, so we're gonna have to kind of guesstimate where we're going here. Alright, pretty accurate there. And the next town that we want to reach is to the south. Now one thing I should mention about this place, or this area, is that this is where the game starts to get a little bit less forgiving in terms of us being at lower levels. The enemies can't one-shot you, but they can do quite a bit of damage to you if you aren't careful. So be sure that you're saving after every battle you run away from, just in case something bad happens or you take a lot of damage, so then you can kind of go from there. Now that we're here, I want to pick up, let's see, I want to pick up 3 copper armlets actually eventually, but we only have the money for 2 right now, so we're going to do that. I'm also going to sell a couple of the items that I have, of these curtain items that we have, because I'm not going to need all of them, to pick up some leather caps as well. So I'm going to pick up 2 of those. Remember, you don't want to put anything on the monk. It's not going to help him. So let's see. I'm going to leave the leather armor on my thief for now, but I'm going to give the copper armlets to my 2 mages there. And eventually, once I have the money, I'll get better equipment for my thief, but we just don't have the money for it right now. Oh yeah, and I gotta put the leather caps on as well. I could have just gone to optimal and it would have taken care of that, but such is life. Let's see here. Where are they? Oh, I guess no, they didn't have a helmet on before, so what am I doing? And that's all I'm really going to pick up for now. I'm not worried about the weapons because the next boss, we're not fighting any more regular enemies at this point in the game. And in terms of the next boss is, we're going to deal with him using magic. So, yeah. Now what we want to do is head up to the castle here. We don't have to do this right now, but I'm going to. So where we're going to go is up here and talk to the healer here. There must be some medicine that can rouse the sleeping, but where? So we need to give this guy some medicine. But there's not much more we can do about that. So I at least wanted to show off where this guy is, because I'm probably at some point going to start, instead of showing me walking from place to place, just going to start saying, hey, I'm going to meet you back here or whatnot. So at least you know where that is. And that was not the right button I wanted to push there. I wanted to push the select button because I wanted to show off the world map so we can get an idea of where we need to head next. So where we're going to head next is this little dot on the map there. I don't know if you can really see it, but it's a little yellow dot right there. It's the Marsh Cave, and it is probably the hardest, if not, or at least the second hardest dungeon in the game. Having the extra levels will help, but it's still going to be a bit of a challenge. So what I'm going to do actually, before we head out, even though we didn't take that much damage, I'm just going to go ahead and go to the end and not rest because it costs $100 and I don't have the money for it. Excellent. So, ignore what I just said there. We're actually just going to keep walking and head towards the Marsh Cave. Yeah, that awkward moment when you realize that, oh yeah, I don't have any money. And I actually forgot that, and I went ahead and healed myself off screen. I forgot I have extra potions. But yeah, I have extra potions, so we'll be in good shape. If I feel the need to do some more grinding for money later, then I might do that, but I think we'll be okay right now. Let's see. I'm trying to remember. Can I just go straight through here, or do I have to go further? Yep, I have to go further north. Yeah, so we want to go up and around this mountain, not... Now, if it gets to a point where every sentence is going to be interrupted by a random battle, I might start showing a few of the battles on screen, even though I'm just running. Because, you know, I don't want to have this be, like, really awkward commentary. I know I'm not the best commentator, but don't need to make it worse by interrupting my my thought process every 2 seconds with a random encounter. But we're finally at the Marsh Cave. Wasn't that hard. My monk took a few hits there, but he'll be alright. So let's go ahead and do it. Now this dungeon is probably, as I mentioned earlier, one of the hardest dungeons in the game. It's much easier if you have a black mage, because your black mage can destroy most of the enemies in this area with a well-placed fire spell. But you know, we're not actually doing a level 11 a class change run, so the black mage's magic doesn't really help us here. Now, the one thing you have to be careful of is if you get poisoned. And as I didn't really ask you or recommend that you buy any items, so if you find yourself getting poisoned, you might actually want to just restart your game, and that's why I recommend that, or that's why I was recommending earlier that you save often, because that way, if you run into a battle and get poisoned, then you can just run away, or you can just load up your previous save file, and you won't lose that much progress. So that's just my recommendation there. And as you saw when I first came in here, I went to the north. And the reason you want to come to the north as opposed to going south is because there are some treasures here that you can get. One thing about those treasures, though, and this is one misconception that a lot of people have, although I think at this point the information has been put out there, enough information has been put out there that people know about this at this point. This dungeon has what are called duplicate treasures. And what that means is there are certain treasures in this area that can show up in multiple locations. And if you pick them up in one location, then you won't be able to get them at another location. And I'm going to go ahead and save my game here. I know I said I wasn't going to show this on screen, but I managed to get all the treasures without running into a single encounter, so I don't want to have to run the risk of doing that again. But the idea is if you get the treasure in one location, it won't show up in another location. And 3 of the treasures that you can get here are duplicate treasures, and they will show up later in the dungeon when we're actually heading to our objective. The reason, though, that you want to get them now, or you want to go north there, is that if you, is that there's a treasure up to the north that you can't get anywhere else. And I can't remember which one it is exactly. It might be one of the $600 treasures, so like either the 620 or the 680, that if you don't pick it up there to the north, you can't get it at all. So that's the reason why, even though some of the treasures are duplicates, we wanted to go ahead and pick it up here. But what this will do is it will allow us to skip or make a much more direct line to the next exit. So yeah, now that we're back on the second floor, this floor is where all the duplicate treasures would be. And so we don't have to worry about picking up any of them because they're just going to be empty now. And I'm not even going to bother showing off where they are because I don't want to run the risk of running into an encounter. So let's continue to head south because that's where our next destination is. Yeah, so we want to head south here, head around this, and I think this might be, or did I do this wrong? No, I think I did it right. I just got to keep going to the right there. Yeah, so we want to just keep heading. Perfect. Now this is the location I wanted to hit there, and then we're going to go around the doors, and then our next ladder will be, or set of stairs will be right here. So now we are in the final level of the Marsh Cave, and this has gone fairly smoothly so far. I've only been in one battle that was super dangerous, and it seems at this point that, even though I forgot to look this up to confirm it, that walking definitely puts you in way fewer random battles. So that's going to be key to your survivability in the long term. So we're going to pick up this treasure here. So we get another copper armlet. And so it's a good thing we didn't buy another one earlier because we are going to get one here. Now, that's the second treasure. Now there's two more in a room to the right. Yeah, so there's two more treasures over here that we want to pick up. One of them is empty because it was a duplicate. And then I think that was a Phoenix Down. So whenever we picked up the Phoenix Down earlier, that was a duplicate treasure there. So then there is another treasure. Just checking my notes here. So I think, so that not this room. That one is the room with the boss in it. So now we want to head to the right. And after I pick up this treasure, I'm going to go ahead and save my game again. Again, I'm sorry that I'm showing all this saving on screen. If it wasn't for the fact that it was pretty quick, I'd be more concerned. But it's so fast in terms of saving, and I'm getting pretty lucky. I have been getting pretty lucky with the enemy encounters at this point, so I don't want to mess that up. So yeah. Oh, that one was empty too. I forgot I already picked that one up as well. That was also a Phoenix Down. So now what I need to do is head over two more doors here, and this will lead us to our first boss battle. And so what we need is we want to go into those. We want to go get that treasure chest, but when we do, as soon as we walk up to that panel, we're going to hit some enemies. So I'm going to save my game here, and this is a boss battle where you can fight where the number of enemies you fight will vary each time. So what you want to do is you want to keep resetting your game until you only fight two of these guys. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that off screen. I'm going to keep resetting my game until I finally get only two of the enemies that you can fight here. And I got it on the first try. Awesome. So what we want to do here for an easy win, we're going to have everyone use a blue fang. Now, one thing you got to be careful of is that the Pisco demons, which is what these guys are, they can kill you pretty easily. Even though we do have some extra levels to kind of help our defense, if they gang up on you, they can knock you out. So you got to be careful about that. You can see there, 86 points of damage. So if another one hits, well, we won't have to worry about it because we got him in one shot. Excellent. And everyone's going to gain a level, which is fine because we knew we were going to get this. Experience. So, and we get the crown for our efforts. So now what we want to do is head all the way back to the exit of the Marsh Cave. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to meet you outside. Okay, I'm back. And now what we want to do is we're going to actually head to the north. You can see that, if I can get my cursor to work there, that big red dot right there, that's our next location. We want to take the crown up there. Now I made the Marsh Cave, I think, look a lot easier than it can. Yeah, a lot easier than it can be. You know, especially with the Pisco demons, it can often take a while for you to get just two of them. And as you saw there, if they were to gang up on me, I'd really be in trouble. So, like I said before, save often. That's going to be something I say a lot, because it really is such crucial advice to save your game frequently to make sure that you don't get killed. Yeah, so of course, right after I start talking about saving the game, I get killed in the very next battle. So that's I guess a good example of why you should always save. Because for me, it didn't take me that long to recover my progress because I had just saved 2 seconds ago. So now what we want to do is we're going to talk to the king here. Before we do that, though, we want to make a save file. Hopefully you've played the 15 puzzle, because if you have and you have a cockatrice claw, this battle will be much easier. If not, then I'll try to explain what you can do as we kind of go along. But let's go ahead and take him on first. Now he's laughing at us, but we never actually spoke to him first. But anyway, that's okay. Yeah, he is Astos. And of course he has to undergo a magical transformation. And he has a crystal eye. I don't know exactly what that crystal eye is supposed to do. But okay. So if you've played the 15 puzzle and you have a Cockatrice Claw, then this battle is pretty straightforward because we can just spam the Cockatrice Claw, petrify him, and when you do, you win. That's simple. If you don't have a Cockatrice Claw, then you're going to want to use Silence on him to prevent him from using powerful spells, and then you're going to want to have your Black Mage use Temper on probably your Monk there to have him so that he can do extra damage. If you don't have that either, well then you're kind of screwed. And thankfully Death missed. Hopefully one of these Cockatrice Claws hits. If not, we're going to have to, I'm going to have to reset this and try it again. Come on. Yes. Whew. I didn't think I was going to need all three of them, but jeez. Thankfully it worked, and we get another level. Awesome. So, I think... Alright. So everyone gained 2 levels there, actually. That's why it took so long to get through all that. But for defeating Astos, we get the Crystal Eye, which is awesome. And with that, we can continue with the plot, but we can't do so by going to Alfheim directly. Instead, we need to go to another location and drop off that Crystal Eye somewhere else to continue the plot. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to meet you back at the ship. As you can see, I'll show it off on the map there. We're just going to backtrack to where the dot is there. You guys have seen me walk all the way here anyway, so I don't need to show you walking back. So I'll just meet you back at the ship, and then we'll go from there. Okay, I'm back. We are back at the ship here. So now what we want to do, pull up the map again. We want to head to the north. So we're going to head back to Cornelia, where we started. And then we're going to head north from there to this little yellow dot on the map. Now eventually we're going to head back to Alfheim. And when I do, I'm going to want to pick up some better spells. Because now we have access to the level tier, or the tier 3 spells. But I'm not worried about that right now. And I'm going to go ahead and save my game again on screen. I'm sorry to keep doing this, but you know, whenever I can make it across the ocean without running into a random battle, I want to save my game. So, yeah, now we want to head across the bridge like we were going to Provoca, but instead of going to the east there, now we want to head north. So one random thing that I wanted to mention is that with regards to the aspect ratio, I decided to leave it at 4:3 for now for my Final Fantasy playthrough, just because it seems like it actually is working okay. I was looking at it on YouTube, the first video today, and it looks okay. I think there's a bar at the top and the bottom, but nothing was cut off, which was kind of important for me. But anyway, the place that I just walked into is Matoya's cave, and as you can see, she's kind of stumbling and bumbling around because her eye is missing. So that's the person we want to bring the Crystal Eye to. Once she stops. There we go. And I realize I may have been going through the dialogue earlier a bit fast. I apologize if that was the case. I was kind of distracted by everything else. But in general, I'm going to try to take the dialogue pretty slowly. And for bringing the Crystal Eye back to her, we get a Jolt Tonic. And so now, with the Jolt Tonic, we can head all the way back to Alfheim. And yeah, we can head all the way back to Alfheim, and that's where we're going to want to give, that's the person we're going to want to give the potion to. So I'm just going to meet you back at Alfheim. I'm not going to show all the backtracking, so I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I'm here at Elven Castle, so now what we want to do is go up and talk to the prince here, use the Jolt Tonic on him. Or maybe I need to talk to this guy to give it to him. Yeah, there we go. So this should work. Come on. Yes, we woke up the prince. Nope, you are no longer dreaming. No, you aren't dreaming. Another legend? Oh, okay, never mind. I was worried we were going to have to see another prophecy, and I'm tired of seeing prophecies. But what we get is we get the Mystic Key, and what that's going to do is it's going to unlock all sorts of treasures around the world. I haven't been showing them off, but there are a lot of treasures we can pick up, which were previously locked by the Mystic Key. So what I'm going to do now is, well, I'm not going to get the treasures today. I'm actually going to wrap up the episode here. But before I go, what I want to do is pick up a few spells. Now that we are slightly more powerful and we can access the tier 3 spells, I want to pick up Heal for my White Mage. Cura, maybe I'll pick up Cura in a little bit, but Heal is the big one that I need right now. And then I'm also going to get Fyra for my Black Mage. And since I'm running low on MP, I'm also going to stop at the inn on my way out. So yeah, we want Fyra. Thundara, you don't really need. Hold is pretty useless for us, and Fokara is not something I'm really worried about. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and rest. And then I think we will wrap up the episode. And then next time, I think we'll go ahead and that's when we'll start tracking down the treasures. So yeah, like I said, I made this look a lot easier than it is, but this is where things start to pick up in terms of the level 11 class change run. This was kind of the test run here. If this had gone really poorly, then that would be a bad foretelling of what would come, but there's still a few big challenges on our way, but we'll be dealing with all that in the future. So next time, like I said, I'll pick up the treasures that we can get with the Mystic Key, and then we'll continue exploring from there. Until then, this has been Marathon Hurdler. I want to thank you as always for checking out my videos, and hopefully I will see you next time.